Hey, everybody. Welcome to our post show. Hopefully, we won't have the same kind of technical glitches that apparently just happened in the auditorium there at the end.
Yeah, weird. I hope not. But
That happens. Sometimes that happens. Hopefully, you were able to hear some of what Dave was trying to say there at the end. We are partnering with our global partners right now during our Global Impact Month. And if you want to help out with that, if you want more information about it, just go to our website, my3c.org. You can get all the information about our global mission partners there, and you can also find a way to be involved financially and donate to our mission partners. So that's available, my3c.org. How's everybody doing?
pretty good.
Good. So here I'm at the post show with Elizabeth and Andy and Tanner. And we'll start out. Just what was something that stood out this morning? Just in general, it could be from the moment you pulled on, in the parking lot to the moment we started the post show. Is there something that jumped out? Something exciting? Something interesting? What was your impression?
Jasper's kryptonite answer. I was like expecting because I hang out with him at like youth group, and I was ready for it to be something like, but he was like lack of sleep. I was like, that's actually a pretty good one, like you said.
And then
Like
the funniest thing was then later he had the biggest yawn I've ever seen.
behind
right
you when you were like
behind
talking,
you.
and he didn't cover his mouth. He was all like, so I was like, man, kryptonite's still hitting him. So
Yeah.
but
It was funny because right after we cut away from me, I was talking to Josh, his dad, but apparently he has been trying to avoid being on the pre-show for the
I
last year.
yeah.
And he's like, "You finally got me."
So that was technically his kryptonite was you in the microphone.
Apparently so. We'll have to try to get a few more people who are always avoiding the camera.
Adam Woolheis.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. He's very elusive.
What else jumped out this morning to you guys?
I really enjoyed worship this morning. I thought it had good energy, and there was a lot of people this morning, and I could tell that the people around me were really enjoying it as well. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
It's funny because we have such a different vantage point being standing on the stage and looking out, and I can always tell when the room starts packing up because sometimes the lights are bright and you can't see all the way to the back. But when the ushers are actually ushering people and trying to find seats for them,
Yeah.
that always is an indicator. Like, oh, it's filling up pretty quick.
I just kind of float around on Sunday mornings to take pictures and see all the things.
You do more than
And
just float.
well, yeah,
Not much, but more.
I walked into CK2 and there was a bunch of kids in there, and they were all sitting in this circle, and it was like all of them were like so excited, and I was like, what are they playing a game? Like, what's going on? And they were so excited because Kathy, the like leader in the room, was asking them who they wanted to pray for, and they were all so excited to like share who they wanted to pray for, and I was like, this is so cute and so cool at the same time, that they were so excited about it. Half of them, well, a lot of them were like, oh, that's a good answer. I like that answer. And it made that like their answer. And they're like, let's pray for Jesus. And Kathy's like, okay, let's do it. But,
What ages is that again?
that
Is that like preschool?
yeah, preschool and kindergarten.
Okay.
But they were all so excited
Awesome.
to pray. It was so cute.
Good.
Did you stay in there for their prayer?
I did. And then some kids got a little rowdy, and so I was like, I'm going to head out because they were all
camera
trying to
can
talk
be-
to me, and I was like, okay, bye.
Distracting a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. It's fun to see just our little ones, getting excited about something as simple as prayer. I wish our adults, I wish everybody would get that excited about prayer.
Yeah.
For
What about
sure.
you? What's something that stood out to you today?
Oh man. There's so many things. I'm trying to think of something very specific because Sunday mornings are different for me, right? Because
Exactly.
it's work mode, but it's also like making sure things don't fall apart mode. And I just love it when everything just works the way it should, right?
Yeah.
When Now, obviously, at the end of the service, we had a
little
little
snafu.
bit of technical issues. That happens.
Sure.
But when people come in with just good, positive attitudes, ready to go, ready to worship, ready to sing, ready to play, our band sounded great. Like all of those things, like make Sunday morning so much easier.
Sure.
So then when there are issues that come up, we can solve those. We can fix that. I'm sure like right now my team is on it. They are probably resetting the board. They're getting everything done. Just being able to depend on people like that, that is such a blessing. Like I don't think people realize how big of a blessing it is because it really comes down to the volunteers.
Yep.
There's only a few of us really on staff. There's not that many. And our job is really to rally the people.
Yep.
Which is a great segue into what we're going to be talking about this morning, because
Yeah.
today in our I-5 series, the big topic was inviting people into church. Let me just kind of ask you, because maybe I guess I don't know how you came to Connections. I'm guessing everybody came to Connections because of an invite.
Yes.
Is
Yeah,
that accurate?
Very accurate. Yeah.
Tell us real briefly your story of how you came.
Yeah, so for me, it was my parents were invited when I was younger. A family friend had started coming and really enjoyed Connections and thought it was a good fit for us, and then invited us. But more personally, like my testimony, I came to faith at Connections while I was in the youth group, and it was because I got an invitation of, hey, you want to try out the youth group? I was a little young to be in it, actually, but the youth pastor was like, I think this would be good for you. So I came in, and then Carly Cottingham shared her story, and it was a big moment for me to like actually make my faith my own. So that would be like my big invitation story.
That's cool, and she has such a unique and powerful testimony too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My parents started coming like a week or two before us, and they were like, you guys have been looking for a church for a while. This one really clicked with us, and that was it. Sometimes that's all it takes is to hear, because when you know somebody personally and something clicks for them, you're like, well, we have a lot of things in common. Maybe it'll click for us. And you never know when you invite somebody. You don't know if they've been looking for a church for a while, if there's something going on with their personal life, or if stuff can fall apart at churches. We know, unfortunately, that can happen. And it's just, it never hurts to invite. So.
Which is actually how I came to Connections.
Yeah.
Was through unfortunate church hurt.
Sure.
It happens. And I'll tell you my story real fast, because I think it hits to the heart of everything Dave was trying to talk about, and actually it involves Dave. I was on staff at another church. It was the way the church ended was just not a good situation. I was very much in a place where I didn't think I wanted to continue to pursue a career in full-time ministry. That's where I was.
Sure.
And it was really difficult. And I got a random phone call from a guy I didn't know. And it was Dave Sanders. And Dave has a real heart for people who are just struggling in their faith and just hurting because of whatever. And he had heard about what happened at our last church, and he knew that I was still in town. I don't know how he knew me. Like, I honestly don't know how he got my number either. Somebody out there gave him my number. But I got a random phone call, and he was like, hey, you want to just grab some coffee and talk? And my initial reaction was like, why would I do that? Like, I don't know you.
Right.
And then I was like, you know what? I'll go. And it was through a series of just sitting down and having coffee and having difficult conversations of where I was. And then it was that simple, like, it was interesting because he's like, I know you have a lot of experience working for a church. Would you come and just evaluate our church? Just come to our church, give us kind of your impression. So I resonate with today's message because sometimes it is it's that power of the invite that can radically change and transform somebody's life and take them in a new direction. So that's kind of my story, and you're tagged with me on that
Yeah.
because if you didn't know, out there in internet land, she's my daughter. So,
The whole last name thing really
yeah,
sometimes confuses
but
people.
a lot of times people don't know our
That's
last
true.
names.
You're
I
right.
mean,
Yeah, we don't say it all the time. Yeah.
all right. So the question I have for you, because we're talking about invite, and we're going to filter it through specifically inviting people to church or to other, how did Dave put it? Christian gatherings, I think is what he said. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good of an inviter are you?
I'll say I'm better now than I was younger, but I'm not as good as inviting like friends my age. I'm really good at going up to kids I see for the first time and like, hey, you should come to youth group. So on that, I'm like an 8 or a 9 because I'm like, but I also don't want to like overbug them. So if I ask a couple weeks in a row, sometimes I'll be like, take a week off, Andy. You don't want to like scare them away.
Yeah.
Do you just find
Because there's
random
probably-
students?
No,
Hey,
kids that intern
you
come
look
in.
like you're about
You look
in
like
10th
you're- yeah.
grade.
What grade are you in?
He's walking in the mall. And he's-
Hey, which there would be no students in the mall because nobody goes to the mall anymore.
No, I think the mall is trying to make a comeback. Do you hear there's going to be like some kind of go-kart thing going in?
The mall here?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. And right now they apparently they have a mascot. They're doing
Yeah.
a name the mascot of the mall.
I had no idea.
competition.
All right.
People are commenting that it should be named Pothole because of how bad the parking lot is.
Okay, I like that.
But maybe you can walk around the mall and
Yeah.
find some random people to
But
invite.
so I've gotten better at that, but I do need to be more intentional on inviting people like my own age friends. But a lot of my friends go here, people that I see every
Right.
week. So sometimes it's tough. But I did get one of my fellow coworkers about a year and a half, 2 years ago, asked me where I went, and I told them. I was like, you should just show up because they were having issues with their church.
Yeah.
Again, it was just not church specific. I don't want to keep bringing up issues, but
Right.
sometimes humans get involved in God's work. Sometimes it gets messy, but they were just like, we just need something different. I was like, hey, we have church service. I gave them the times, and then I didn't see them for a while, and then all of a sudden they've been coming now like steadily for like 2 years.
Very cool.
So
Very
sometimes
cool.
it just takes a simple invite, just
okay.
giving
So
them times.
give us a number, 1 to 10.
For students,
No,
8.
overall.
Overall, 7.
Room
Oh.
to grow.
Room to grow.
I think you could probably give yourself a little higher on that, but
7.5.
yeah.
7.23. Okay.
All right.
What about you?
I would say I'm not very good at it.
I was
If
gonna say
I'm
that.
just going to be 100% honest.
Which is what we want.
Yep.
But it's also, I'm not in a ton of situations where I'm around people that aren't.
Part of the church
Just-
or
yeah.
church? Yeah.
Because, I'm here now every day during the day. And I'm better at it more so when people ask me what I do. So, like, when I choreograph a show, like this middle school show, I talked about it all the time because they just asked me questions. And it was more of just like, what do you do? Is this all you do? Like, just
Right.
simple, just innocent questions that can get annoying because they're middle schoolers and they ask them all the time. But it was a very easy way to just like tell them what I do, and then they asked questions beyond that and asked about youth group and when it is and all this stuff. So it comes up for me more so just like naturally instead of me going out of my way to invite people, but it's just with the situation that I'm usually in, just where I'm at.
What's your number there for?
Yeah. Give us a number.
I'll do like a 5.
There you go.
There you go. Room to grow.
I would say I used to be like a 4, and then I came on staff as an intern here a few years back. And, well, it's I think been like 5 now. But Perry had me do a lot of different things to get better at this, like going out into the community and inviting people. And then I remember for Easter, he had me go to the apartment complexes in the area and just like drop off invitations everywhere. And then you bump into people and they're like, "What are you doing?" Which for me was a big stretch of like skill. But I would say now like 7, 8 is my score on that scale.
Nice. Good. Where do I'm going to score myself lower. I'm gonna try to like be a true evaluate. I feel like I'm really good at being intentional about trying to develop the relationships. If we're looking at all of the eyes that we've covered so far,
Yep.
I'm really good about trying to be intentional about building relationships with people who don't know Jesus yet. And they all know what I do. Like there's open dialogue about church and about faith and about whatever, but that piece of being like so bold about saying, come with me on Sunday. I want you to be there. Being very upfront. That needs some work. It's not that I haven't done that. It's not that I don't do that. But it was real convicting today being like, I'm not as intentional at the invite. I'm really intentional at building the relationship. I'm really intentional about presenting God in a way that is part of my dialogue. But that simple invite, like the power of the invite, and I keep forgetting that. So I'll score myself. I'll just put it right in the middle. I'll score myself a 5 too. I want to give myself so much headroom that I'm like I'm going to try to achieve that.
Sure.
And I feel like, in my head at least, and you might think similar, I feel like it's also hard because when I talk to people about coming to church, I feel bad because of how busy I am on Sunday mornings. So I feel like I can't, like it's almost like I want you to be here, but then I'm not going to be with you at all because, you know, like you're on stage or you're here or, you know, and then I'm
running around
pre-show, taking, you know, like it's that also like feeling bad. Like I don't want to leave them alone, but then it's like, you know, so I feel like, especially with the middle schoolers, it's so much easier to invite them to youth group because I'm able to actually just like, I do other things, but I like be there and.
Yeah.
Well, my encouragement to you then would be, it's okay. It's okay if you're not there because the reality is what we're trying to do is get them to have that moment, that interaction with God that only He can convict and He can control. The goal is to extend the invite because I love what Dave said. And it was never underestimate the power of a simple invitation. So hopefully everybody who's watching this has been an encouragement to you that just that simple invitation can make or break somebody's entire eternity path.
Yep.
So be bold. Where do you fall on the scale? 1 to 10. Put us down in the comments. Let us know. Give yourself a real, true evaluation. And then say, I'm going to be better. I'm going to invite. I'm going to do what I can for people.
And we as a church have cool things that we do every few months that are easier to invite people to. Like, you know, we have a party coming up in a couple weeks. You know, Labor Day party.
That's right. Labor Day party's coming up.
And that's an easy invite because it's
a party.
It is. It's a party, but it's a celebration of just Jesus and church together. So it's an easier invite. You don't feel like you're inviting them and they're like, oh, but this is the second message in a series. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Because we
right,
get
I got to cut you off because
we're
we're out of time. We got to run back into the auditorium for that next service. Guys, thank you for joining us here at Connections. We love you, but more importantly, Jesus loves you. We'll see you next time.